Hello, welcome viewers on my paradise, dear students. So today just I am going to focus down upon the military causes that are leading to the first war of independence. So what are the prime causes of that? Just I am going to have to that. So first point, ill treatment of Indian soldiers. So in spite of having the Indian soldiers as efficient as the British troops, still then they were denied of giving the chances, promotions, and also their conditions or circumstances was quite miserable to the mileage of extent. Means the Indian soldiers were poorly paid and also ill fed and badly housed. So another thing also that the British military, the British military authorities, they forbade the Indian sepoys from using the sectarian marks. Means suppose the Indian soldiers having the customized or their customary beards, or that is called the turbans, that is called the caste wearings, that were also being forbidden, also getting loose in terms of the Britishers. They were denied having just using by the Indians, that is the sectarian marks. So that's why it was a great disregard for these separates, and discontentment rose to the zenith of the situation at the peak level. So now it is General Service Enlistment Act 1856. It was carried out by the British Parliament that those uh, though the Indian troops they are on the duty, they must go the overseas. Otherwise, they will lose their service. That's why the Indian troops are bound to just have crossed the overseas. But there are some Brahmin soldiers. They felt it was a danger for them and it was a great taboo for them to cross the overseas. But the Enlistment Act did not careful about that, the sentiments of those cards. That's why it is a great dissatisfaction and a great resentments among them, and they stood up against these policies and the act, very rigid act. So now it is the large proportion of the Indians in I think quite majority, large number, huge number of the troops of the Indians were just in context of the British troops were one fourth. Means suppose there are 1,000 the troops of the Britishers and 4,000 were Indians. So the Indians also easily just took action against the Britishers and stood against them and rose up also the arms action against the Britishers. That was the mileage of the chance and the buoyancy of mileages among the troops of the Indians, spirited. So another the bleak prospects of promotions. I think Indian soldiers just suppose as efficient as the British troops, and always there are also a chance higher ranks was given to the Britishers, and that was also reserved for also them. So there are very negligible chances of the at all no chances given to the Indian soldiers at all. So that's why great dissatisfaction among the Indian and the soldiers, because bleak negligible means there is no chance, no pull of promotion in the future. That is also great resentment among the troops of the Indians. Now it is deprivation of the allowances because the extension of the British dominion. So it was a great dangerous and also very pathetic for the condition of the sepoy, because the sepoys going abroad or over the seas or just any places outside of the India, they are getting deprived of their also chances or getting deprived of extra wages, or also no allowances were also given. Bhota, that is allowances, was not given to them. So that was also the great dissatisfaction of the, that is called another, that is called the faulty distribution of the troops, because and the important places like Delhi and also the Allahabad, these two most concerned places, the vital places, the British troops are not at all employed there. And And during the time also British troops had gone overseas to fight against, that is called the Persian wars, and that the Chinese were there involved in that also their wars. So that's why. So the Indian soldiers felt that it was a great difficulty also. The Indians felt, leaders, that the British soldiers, for the sake of British soldiers, great difficulty, because outright fighting is going wars also, British involved with other countries. And the Indian soldiers, they had a great feeling that the determined Indian soldiers would take a just rise up against them, just getting the opportunity to stood against them just at a suitable and perfect times. Another, that is the poor performance of the British troops. Poor performances means that is called the Punjab wars, or that is called the Santal. Santal means Bihar Bengal mixed. So that is called Punjab wars and first Afghanistan war. So British troops, I think, I told not exhibited to the exorbitant of their also the performances. So outright they were also defeated by them. Means, suppose I will take just one token of example. That is the Santals, means mixed, that is Bihar and Bengal. They also very nicely also staged up also their fighting against the Britishers, and very temporarily just swept away the British troops from their also their places. But the Britishers also took very harsh and strong measures against them. But still then, it was a great also, that is called the disasters. Great disasters that happened means they broke a myth that the Britishers were invincible at all. So that's why the Indian soldiers got they very rightly in their minds that just we determined that the Indian soldiers just could be also beaten them at any point of times. So my next point, that is the lower salaries. Lower salary means that is called the wage of the Indian soldiers were quite inadequate and palatable, that was. So which could not mean to manage their families at all. But in course of time, another thing just I will mention, on the other hand, the British troops had also very immense, means it was that is called more than 8 times, means more than 8 times the salaries of the Indian troops they are getting. So how much just could you imagine about that? So that is, this also means this difference, and also this also the swinging alcohol, that is difference between this also, how much can you just going one extent to that. So this deprivations also stood also very highly and ambiguously just among also the Indians. That's also today. Also thank you, have a nice day, and bye bye to all.